All right, ladies and gents, welcome back to some T90 Titans League, and welcome to a very important round 2 set for both players. Slam was up against Leary in the first round, and Leary 3-0'd him. It was honestly an incredible set. I obviously saw all the live stream comments when I did it, but I saw a lot of the YouTube comments too. And thank you to everyone out there who's watching on the Extras channel. It's freaking awesome to see so many people watching and playing your part. But yeah, people were a little upset for Slam, you know, because Slam came so close. I remember I was upset for Slam as well. Why am I looking at Bact when we're talking about Slam? So Slam comes in here with 0 wins. The second round, he's really going to want to get some wins on the board. And then a series I did not cast was between Bact and Capoch. And remember, in this group, I see Leary and I see Vinchester as the only 2 clear players to stay up. The other 4, it's a toss-up in my mind. So I feel like the Slam Bact, the Bact Capoch, the Slam Capoch, the Song versus all those 3. It's going to be really important. Anyways, Bact actually only got 1 win off of Capoch. Capoch won 2-1 there. And then later, I got 3-0'd by Vinchester. So, long story short, you know, second round here, very important for these 2 because they haven't had the strongest start. We have Bact in the red playing as the Britons. And then we have Slam in the blue playing as the Aztecs. A little surprising to see a Civ like Britons here. I mean, it's not necessarily bad. It's also exciting to see Serengeti. And Slam is going to lame. There is only 1 elephant on this map, my friends. There is 1 elephant, and we did adjust our map scripts so the boars or elephants and whatnot would always be on the back. But Slam's super motivated to get that win. And wow, what a start for him. A big reason you'd pick a Meso Civ would be to have that Eagle. Eagles always beat the Scouts, and then Eagles are always a little bit easier to lame with because they're a bit slower. That is unless the Scout actually tracks you. But yeah, that's a goat. Bact is not chasing. Bact was being really greedy. Just assumed that elephant wouldn't be taken. And honestly, I can't blame him. And now Bact is going to have to focus in on pushing all of his food. So we'll see what Slam's macro is like behind this. It's a very open map here, Serengeti. I think this is the second time I've seen Serengeti with my Titans League cast. We have... Game 1 is always the final map remaining after the back and forth pick and then all the bans. So it's been common to see maps like Ravines or so far Jungle Swamp for that map. And that'll change later on, of course, with best of 5s and how we change the draft after the group stage. But I'm pumped to see some Serengeti here. Really pumped to see Serengeti. It looks like neither player wanted to ban this one out. And curious to see how Bact's going to do this. I mean, Bact did not chase. And he does have the sheep bonus with Britons. So I think what's going to help him here, and he's actually going to try and drush. Wow. What's going to help him is that he's got plenty of food, and he also had all of his hunt in the same spot. Sometimes they'll generate in different positions. The Slams didn't either. But I think he's going to be okay. But normally I'd say you're not going to see the pre-mill drush when you get lamed because you're spending food before going feudal, and you're going to have less overall food. So Bact still determines this to be a good strategy. And yeah, I mean, he could have tried to chase down that elephant, but if he would have failed then he wouldn't have had this food pushed in. So we'll see. He's going to move out with his Scout now. I really like it. You know, a lot of players will still try and push this in after they've been lamed, but then they don't have the scouting. So like, why are you making this in the first place then, right? So he's going to be okay there. And Slam also going to drush, and Aztecs start with more gold, and Slam is going to go for tons of militia apparently because he's making 3. I think he's forgotten that he starts with extra gold as Aztecs. Otherwise, I don't know why he's going out to get more gold right now. Unless he's going to make more than 5. Slam a crazy guy over here. Or did I get the math wrong? Nah. No, I didn't get the math wrong. See, he has 53 gold. He did what he would have done with any other Civ. The plus 50 gold is pretty obvious here, right? So yeah, he is just instinct, I guess, has kicked in there. And if I'm not wrong, Bact just saw the barracks, and here comes Bact with the 2 militia. So Bact now knows this is coming. Bact is able to go up to feudal age. He knows how to wall his base in, so he has to prep there. And now he's going to look for damage. Slam has the potential to do more damage, obviously. It's not easy at all to secure yourself in a map like this, believe me. But Slam doesn't know that there's militia here. So the militia show up, and now Slam's got a villager trapped. And did you see the moves? Did you see the moves from that militia? Hold on, let me rewatch this for a second. He's like, I'm gonna kill you. Machine gun militia. It's kind of ridiculous. It didn't do any damage there somehow. I mean, you would think that that would do more damage. Holy. But the whole point is here is that Bact wasn't seen, so Bact able to surprise. But also on this side, Bact wasn't able to get his walls down yet. So, I mean, lots of areas to wall, right? He walled here. Also has to micro and attack. Bact will be the first to feudal age. Bact has not mined enough gold to make that next militia yet, which I think is really important. Most likely going to just add a range and slam. He might pick up on the fact there's not a lot of villagers by the TC. He's just going to attack the house now. Okay. So we had a lot of sheesh moments here. A lot of crazy moments. I would love to take a look at the food collected. Yes, see, Slam has collected more because of the elephant. Obviously has the potential to take this, but he can't take his berries right now. And Bact's control is pretty nice. Slam with an exposed villager has to be careful. I have to say, Bact has done a wonderful job to get by in this situation. The 2 militia had paid off. He's actually in a position to kill all of the... Oh, God, don't push it in towards Slam's TC. No! You dumb militia! He's trying to kill these, and in doing so could push it away. Slam's trying to kill them. If you kill with a villager, you can eat from it. If you kill with a militia, you can't. As Slam runs into the TC fire here. Bact, obviously, that's a crazy farm. Nice job there, buddy. But yeah, Bact's going to make archers. So Slam's going to go archer range blacksmith. And definitely able to afford a bit more. He's getting the wood upgrade, for example. I am still curious. I don't think he's able to rush fletching easily. And also, like, keep vills producing here. He does not have a lot on food right now. So that fast blacksmith might not end up paying off. Like, let's see. So he's getting fletching now. Maybe I'm wrong, actually. He does have food from these vills. I mean, there's going to be some TC idle time, but I guess maybe it's not the end of the world. Full defense right now for Bact. Bact able to take some of the hunt that's left for him. He's got 2 archers. Obviously, he's okay. Yeah, I was right. Slam had with TC idle time, but a lot of that's just due to the fact he's distracted right now. And Bact's now going to add the blacksmith. See, this to me, it just feels like it makes more sense. You've got more on food now. You're going to time fletching with your economy. Love how active Bact is with his scout. And Bact and Slam know each other very, very well. For those that don't know the history between the two. Slam lives on the west coast of North America, so his time zone doesn't always match up too well with, like, the European players, for example. I also think he's a night owl, which makes it even worse. But anyways, so the players he's played a lot with over the years in ranked games has been a lot of the Vietnamese guys, because the Vietnam players tend to get on at around the same time he does. So between Bact, ACCM, Huang, I mean, Slam has played so many games against them. And, of course, these guys have been around for a very, very long time. Slam is now GL, but, like, before it was GL, it was Secret, and before that it was Tyrant, and Bact used to be a part of Tyrant back in the day. But I don't think they played together too much. It was one of those things where it was like everyone was on Tyrant except for the Chinese pros. But, okay, here comes Bact. The issue I'm having for Slam right now is he has no momentum. He has no momentum, and he doesn't really have the scouting going. And look at Bact. I mean, Bact able to track this, able to find it, will kill that archer no problem. And now he's got an army, and Slam still has to respect and worry about this. And Bact realizes the army's here, and that just tells him he's got potential to send his army to the front of Slam's base. We've got 9 ranged units versus 6 right now. So Slam starts off with that lame, but Bact has recovered so nicely. And Slam, I mean, this is amazing work from Bact. Slam has to chase this. You know, sometimes players will chase with more than they have to because of the stress and the speed of the situation. And Bact still getting value from that scout. This is so good. He's going to kill 2 villagers here. And honestly, he could kill the whole army from Slam as well. Because this starting scout is weakening the skirmishers. Bact has some decent range numbers here, and I'm all about Bact's situation right now. Really liking how he's played this. 15 seconds of TC idle time, guys. 1 range, but producing the entire time. Impressive how he's been able to adapt his eco here. And we'll see if he can continue to pester Slam. I mean, Slam's gold is super exposed. Slam's got this one archer as a counterattack. You know, sometimes, guys, like, sometimes if you lame, you kind of give up the potential to get that early aggression in because you don't scout, you don't know what they're doing, and then if they surprise you once, the best players are going to be able to follow it up quite nicely. So this has been a masterclass from Bact so far on how to recover from being lame. Seriously. And here he just goes in with his villagers, kills the archer no problem, and he falls back. It's a 6-3 KD. The good news for Slam, though, is that Aztecs can be really, really dangerous if they can get a good early Castle Age push going. Obviously, that could be the same for Britons, I suppose, but he does have skirms right now with armor. Bact sees this. The Bact is just falling back, and he's going to add a stable. We'll see if he uses this. Wouldn't be a bad idea. He's just falling back. I honestly, if you're going to just sit behind your walls, if you don't think Slam can actually do damage to you, I don't like the scouts, but back to what I said, then you're not going to have some control, so could be a problem. Awesome event, great games. Thank you. I mean, the games have been really good so far. What I like is how every single game matters. I was saying before that, you know, I've casted my fair share of best ofs, but the play all format is really interesting because you can have someone who's clearly going to lose a set, right? So let's say, you know, it's 2-0 for Bact after the first two games. Let's just say that for an example, okay? But then we start to talk about, like, it still matters for Slam. Like, Slam needs to get one win on the board because later in the weeks, he's going to, you know, need that help. And yeah, the scouts show up. Slam knows his whole army is toast here. And what a huge clear up from Bact. The two scouts have done so much. It's preserved his ranged unit mass, which is what you want as the Britons. And right behind it, Bact is going to click up to Castle Age as well. Man, I've been so impressed with Bact so far. 14 kills, 7 deaths. Again, just with his execution, he did have some TC idle time, I guess, but still just much better overall, in my opinion. Now, the thing about this map, guys, is you need to expand to gold quite quickly. Aztecs are no strangers to spending that gold quickly because of their eagle play. Right now, Bact is looking to see exactly what the plan is going to be here. And he's going to see the eagles. He's also going to see, as he's being annoying, but he's going to spot barracks. Trying to click. I can't click, sorry. There you go. You can see the barracks. Here he comes with a ranged army. Slam reacts. Always easy to overchop your wood lines as well in this map, so you have to be careful. Could be one of the rare moments where you see long swords from the Britons, but I personally love the idea of just mixing in one stable knights. Briton crossbows can hit from so far away that Briton crossbows are still something you probably want to base your army around. But aha! Oh, come on, Bact. Give me an opportunity to scream supplies here. He's making militia without supplies. What is this, man? I never get to say supplies at this stage, at high-level Age of Empires. But yeah, like I said, I mean, I do think that one stable knights is good. He might also contribute with a few knights, but he clearly knows this is going to be an all-in play from Slam. And Slam's got 8 eagles right now, and the production out of the barracks gets a lot faster in Castle Age 2. So triple barracks production is not bad. There we go. Supplies! He overpaid for 2 militia, guys. Or maybe 3 militia. Bact is trying to hide with this army, but I would have some concerns if he can't get value out of this army, because this is a big army he built up. Thanks, Slam, though, taking this fight a little too early. He now has 3 weak eagles, when I think he could have delayed his engagement a bit more. He did get chainmail armor and also completed the Eagle Warrior upgrade. In the end, that's actually an okay fight, I suppose. Yeah, Bact not really microing it. Bact also not getting Bodkin Arrow, which might tell Slam some things. Also, isn't Bact so amazing with his scouts? Look how active he is with the scout. Man, like, I wish... So I've been thinking a lot about that with my play. I wish I could do that. Okay, and now... Well, that's more along the lines of what would happen to me like 10 minutes ago, I guess. But yeah, for a while there, he was getting some great value. And now he's on Man-at-Arms. And guys, you're seeing the problem with longswords, I guess, is it does take a long time to build up to it. But if you get there, Slam could have some big problems. And, you know, we talked about the scouting, right? Slam saw the town center. Slam doesn't know it's a commitment to longsword yet. I don't think he has a clue. Bact did a really good job of hiding it. And longsword is now on the way. And if Slam doesn't get through here, There's a chance there's a hole here, by the way. That just looks like there could be a hole. Yeah, if Slam doesn't get through here, these longswords and these crossbows could wreck his gold. I mean, I would dive right underneath that. Bact has had an amazing game. I know I'm coming off like a bit like a Bact fanboy, but he's on 2 TCs. He's had amazing production. Slam has not had a bad game, and his outlook here is to go for the kill with Siege Eagle. But if you're going Siege Eagle, you do not know your opponent is gone for longswords. I mean, you would probably... we probably won't have time to see it because he's going to have to react. But if you know, you add more monks and you make scorpions. There comes Bact. Just not in a location that Slam would ever expect him to be. And Slam is expecting, after seeing the town center, that Bact is just chilling out and booming. Looks like, by the way, that those crossbows were dealt with. Whoa. Oh, God, what have I done? Okay. Okay, so Slam's going to see this... I guess we'll see what he sees first. I think he sees this, but look at the timing on this attack. At the same time, Bact comes in. Now, who knows if that was intentional? And now you see how it took Slam a little bit of time to react because he thought the attack signal was for what was going on in the middle. And now his army's going to be pulled away from the middle, and now that siege looks useless. And now Slam has lost 7 villagers, doesn't have a wood line. But Bact has to make sure that his crossbows actually stick around with his longswords. I think it's going to still be really useful to have crossbows in the mix. But oh my god, there's still more crossbows. The mangonel is going to pop out. We'll see if it does much damage here. The crossbows also wedge themselves in here, so they get more value than they would normally do. Slam will clear this. But at what cost, I guess? 63 villagers for Bact, 39 for Slam. Who says laming is OP? Not Bact. My god, dude, this is honestly such a sick game. Holy crap. Like, Slam played really good against Leary and could have had wins. Bact with 11 kills on the eco, and then the normal KD is fairly even here. This game should be over. Like, with this economy difference, there's no way Slam should be able to keep up with production. Jeez, dude. Like, trying to keep my stream PG here. I know that some of you guys out there, even if you don't mind swearing occasionally, you might be watching with your family or whatever. So I try and be mindful of that, but like, here. Holy, there we go. There we go. I think that's good, right? That's why I have this thing in the first place. Got to get my money's worth. Like, dang, I can't get over it, honestly. I can't get over how clean everything has been. From the opening range to the longsword switch. This is wild stuff. He's going to get the final Castle Age armor now. And Slam, I do like this. It's your first game. You know, you got to get a feel for it. Warm up into the series. He's going to try to go for one big push. He's hoping that numbers would do it, right? Because he only saw 4 longswords, so he doesn't know. Well, now he'll know how big this army is. So supplies, I mean, we meme about it. Supplies, great tech there from Bact. Discount there on the militia line. Lovely, lovely thing to see. He's now got that armor. Slam does have some crossbows here. Obviously, the longer Bact is here, the bigger the build deficit is. So he has the potential to make so much more army. The Slam has really, really struggled here. And Bact, I think, yep, it looks to snipe the monk there. Monk runs away. Good job from Slam. We are going to see a university. We might even see ballistics here for Bact. I mean, why else would you get the university, I guess? That's a pretty good shot there from Slam. Again, this is a big, big mass of eagles, and the crossbows are helping out. Longswords are not the best against archers or scorpions, so... It still, to me, feels like Bact is just trying to buy some time here, but he does need to make sure he takes a good fight. This fight is actually really good for Slam. Bact adding TC number 4 on the left side of the minimap there. And all of a sudden, maybe there's a glimpse of hope for Slam. This is why you play on. If any Civ was ever going to get some type of all-in finished, it would probably be the Aztecs. More longswords on the way. Now ballistics is on the way. More range is on the way, so it'll be crossbow, longsword. Love how Bact has scouted the map, by the way. Look at this scouting. To me, this looks like it was manual scouting. I think he lost his starting scout at one point, right? But I had mentioned before how important the extra golds are. Important moment here for Slam. I'd love to see Slam bring whatever siege and monks he has forward right now. Also, he needs to get the relics that are near his base. Now, this is a fight that goes okay for Slam considering the circumstances, right? Because Bact should be able to get more. But still 42 villager lead, and a lot of those Eagles did get caught up in that engagement. Bact is just going to fall back. He just needs to add a couple more barracks. Yeah, he's just going to add the barracks here. And still, it's just tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock for Slam. As the longswords are still tanking enough. The crossbows obviously going to hit their shots, and they're going to focus down the crossbows from Slam behind this now. The TC should be enough security as well. So we actually have a sneaky army from Bact. He loves this, man. He actually might get some value there. Still just waiting for Bact just to put his foot on the gas one more time. And then that might be the end. He will actually lose these crossbows. Slam left his Scorpion and crossbows at home. Bact is going to still micro it because obviously he's playing amazing right now. And yeah, this should be the end. Slam, he might realize shortly. What a great start to the series for the Vietnamese pro. You just, I honestly, I think TTL is going to be really kind to Bact. And again, he did lose Capwatch 2-1, which I guess, like, if I were to compare their peaks, I would have always said Bact. So it's a tricky group, man. Group C, you've got the two superstars, Leary and Winchester, and then all the other pros behind who can have their day, but what's the consistency going to be like? I think at this point, Slam sees the score. He's really starting to feel the eco difference now. Bact running in here. Slam's actually winning the fight. I mean, a lot of villagers are dying. Great micro from Bact as well. You can tell Bact feels this game is over right now. He feels the game is over. He wants to drop a castle. And so did Slam, actually. That's definitely something that's wise to throw in to a YOLO push as a forward castle on one of their golds. Slam is about to run out of gold at home, by the way. I mean, this gold is not going to last him much longer. Yeah, very, very good point, Baskets. It's like Bact knew to get the stone timing right. That's a tricky thing as well, because you don't want the castle too early, because then other areas of your economy are going to suffer. But yeah, Slam's going to call it here. He's going to see the score. He has to know that he's dead at this point. And for Slam, he's still going to be searching for his first win in T90 Titans League. We'll have 2 more in this series, obviously. So we'll see what he ends up doing. But honestly, guys, that was, from an execution standpoint, that game was honestly insane. I know it's tough for some people out there to, like, you know, the reality is, you know, there's favorites out there. There's personalities. There's players that people like to see. And it's easier to appreciate certain aspects of a game if it's attached to a certain individual, right? Like, for example, you see a farm from me, you say, wow, that's quality. You see a farm from Bact, and you say, oh, whatever. It's not a big deal. I hope that people can look at this game and what transpired and how Bact played it for the beauty it is. It was ridiculous, man. Lost 400 food, said, whatever. Ends up taking initiative with the Drush. And then it was just follow-up initiative, follow-up army, follow-up flood, and then an early castle age. He knew exactly what he needed to do. From the town center timings to the eco upgrades, everything was so beautiful. I mean, the only thing you could possibly criticize him for, and I don't think you really can do this, is just taking fights before he needed to. He could have just waited back. I think he just wanted to keep asking questions to Slam's base. Is Slam maybe feeling that heat already? Starts off the game with a lame. Doesn't get it. He gets destroyed in that one. KD maybe doesn't show it, but the eco side was too big for Bact. Love the Britons pick there. Was never expecting it. You think Mongols, maybe Aztecs, maybe like any fast scout civilization. But the Britons looked pretty good. Dang. Okay, so game 2. I'm pumped. I am pumped now. I believe we are seeing the first time someone within Platinum League has selected Houseboat as a home map. We have Slam in the blue. Again, desperate for a win, okay? Desperate for a win. He chooses Houseboat. He's playing as the Mayans here. And then we have the Malay for Bact. And let me just double check here. 1, 2, 3. It should be 5 fish. Slam's looks a little weird. Okay, I was worried, but it's just positioned a bit differently. By the way, you cannot walk over this, even though it might look like it. This is all water. If you saw Wandering Warriors Cup, this is one of the maps we had in it. Produced some excellent games. Completely different map. Many different build orders you can try. Certain civilizations thrive, certain civilizations do not. And then certain players thrive and certain players do not. I forget. Did Bact play in Wandering Warriors Cup? I'm trying to think back. Can someone check for me? He must have played. He must have played. I'm trying to remember. There's no set that really stands out to me from him. But, you know, maybe Slam has done some practice build orders here and really feels like he can do something. I do recall Mayans being quite strong. And I also recall Malay being picked a lot by players like the Viper later on in Wandering Warriors. And the strategy that we started to see near the tail end of Wandering Warriors Cup was, instead of being aggressive on someone's water with docks in early feudal, we actually saw the defensive play. The Malay in particular, they just make 2 docks at home. If you forward them, they just defend their own water. If you don't forward them, they add more fishing boats. And then both of these civs would tend to wall up. So like a wall here and a wall here. Maybe a little wall this way. The Slam looking for a gimmick advantage. I wouldn't say this is... Would you guys classify this as gimmicky? I wouldn't say this is a gimmick. I always think... When I think gimmick, I think like... you know, the one map where you... If you took like 20 stone, a random tower appears. You know, like this is just executionally very different. I wouldn't necessarily classify this as a gimmick. I think it's just a very different style map. Obviously takes a lot of your APM to just keep things going. But maybe people consider it gimmicky. I don't know. I think that's... I don't know if that's the word I would use. Oh, yeah. Bact played Capotch. Of course. Of course. That was one of the most insane series, actually. How did I forget about that? So... That set was ridiculous. Yeah, so that was a best of 5. And Bact probably would have won the best of 5 in Game 5 if he didn't lose 4 villagers to a Jaguar. He had 4 villagers that were not loomed. I would encourage you guys to find that clip somewhere. It was ridiculous. And then it was a really long game, but he would have had such a big lead if he didn't lose 4 villagers to freaking Jags. Okay. And I think that was on one of the other maps we had. All right, well, Bact with the early scouting. I mean, really early. And then for Slam, Slam doesn't seem as interested in doing that. Slam, I think, is just trying to map out where his resources are for later. Sometimes you'll look to see if there's hunt in the corners. If you do your preparation, there almost always is hunt towards the corners. He might be trying to think about how he wants to wall this. Like this here. This is a clear sign he wants to wall here. Wouldn't surprise me to see some walls here as well. We have the dock at home. This is standard stuff. Slam is going to transport the sheep in now towards the TC. Remember, a strategy that can be used is to run forward with villagers and dock their pond. And Malay advance faster to the next stage. So, I mean, I think that's a pretty good strat. And the fact that Bact has scouted Slam already tells me he might do that. Because Slam's approach seems to be more defensive. Then again, he brought this villager back, but I was still kind of thinking he might wall up. And maybe I'm wrong, actually. Slam clicks up. I notice he's got 2 villagers inside of here. Okay, so he's going to take these villagers over. Slam has his eagle on the shoreline. I think Bact is trying to keep a close eye on his shoreline to see if he's going to get snook or landed. You would say RMS maps, but not this. Some of the RMS maps, like per my definition of this not being a gimmick, some of the RMS maps might be considered gimmicky, but not all of them. And I can't wait to cast some of those games from that event, too. I think there will be some really good games there. Not covering any of it today. Might cover some of the qualifier tomorrow, and then we'll cover later stages. Okay, well, now I'm... Oh, no, I'm not confused. Okay, so Slam comes forward with the villager. Now, Malay have this cool bonus where their docks give them more vision. So he's got crazy vision from his dock. It's a dock post. And Bact has not scouted this yet. So if Bact scouts this, I believe the right way to play it. And it's interesting because he's got 4 on gold tier. Now he'll see it. I think he should instantly dock at home. That way he's able to go double docks against this. Slam starting off with the fire galley. Really good build so far. And I wouldn't expect the Mayans to be doing this. I would expect the Mayans to be defending from this. But you do have to be kind of scared that if the Malay are able to fish a lot, that the Malay are going to have some problems or give some problems to the enemy. And so Slam, I think a perfect start so far. Doesn't quite have the rest coming out. He's actually, oh, I don't love this. We'll see. He's adding a galley at home. The reason I'm not a big fan is because he couldn't produce on the front. But honestly, that might make a difference because I think Bact is going to try. Oh, that would not be Bact. That would be Slam, excuse me. Well, anyways, we'll see if maybe Bact wants to try a counter dock. And remember, if you lose your fish, that's one thing. But if you lose your transport ship, that's a completely different thing. I will tell you what I don't like, though. I don't like that Slam didn't leave his villager here. I feel like that's a very important part of the strategy. Very confusing decision from Slam. Because now you can't repair. And look, now he remembers. Now he's bringing his villager forward. But now he's losing... Oh my god, that's such a crucial aspect of this. Look, because Bact's going to have his vills. Because it's his base. Oh, no, Slam. Oh, man, that's such a big, big thing here. And Bact knows it. I think Bact's even just trying to delay the vill as much as possible. And at least Slam realizes now, but to already be down one ship when you had the production advantage initially is not the greatest for Slam. And he's going to lose one. He's going to lose two. And, oh, geez. Now, on the bright side, he kills Bact's scout. And he does still have production here. And so he is the one forcing reactions from the enemy. There is a positive to that. But really... have to question running away with that villager. Actually, so in Wandering Warriors Cup, we actually saw people going forward with 2 vills. Because the opponent's going to have all the vills underneath the TC or on the shoreline. People were opting for 2 for that reason. Okay, so there he hits a demo. That was his next plan, I guess. Bact is... I think Bact is very happy with this position, right? Like, he's defending his water now. He can't take this fish easily, which I guess sucks. And he is kind of running out of some of the others. He has added a barracks here, and he might consider adding an archer range or some type of follow-up building. For Slam, he's already going to have the archer range because he built the barracks. Love to see players transition their economies to other areas for food. The berries will be important soon. I'm sure we'll see that. But the thing is, Bact is to keep all of his ships spread out because Slam likely has a demo in here. And he also doesn't know how much Slam is committing right now. So Slam, he's going for the archers because he's not committing full production of these ships all the time. Bact doesn't know that. The amount on food gets really deceiving at this spot because it looks like Bact is going to go to Castle Age faster, but he has 8 on food, and 6 of those are fishing ships. And 2 of those are these villagers here. So it's like not... He's going to bring sheep over, I guess, for new villagers. It's not that great. Obviously, he's going to start adding fish traps the second he clears up these docks, if he clears up the docks. And, oh, here we go. And, oh, that demo was useless. That demo was useless. And Slam knows it was useless. So Slam is going to try his best. Honestly, I would just say use the demo if you're backed, but he's saving it. Wow. You could have definitely justified using the demo there. He's saving it. Slam, though, is still going double demo. I really like that from Slam. I really like how he's adding archers as well. Honestly, and look, he's got his eagle just camped here. So if he sneaks around with a couple fletching archers, who knows? So pros and cons, I guess, overall. But the KD's fairly even. And Slam's resources are looking better now. He's built the mill here. He's able to take shorefish and the berries. The goal for the demos will likely be... Were these vills supposed to repair the fire ship or take the sheep? Okay. It looked like the same. The priority for Slam would probably be just demo down the fish at this point. And yeah, he gets 1. And there goes Bact on the way up. Let's see. Was Slam going to show himself with these archers or is he going to wait? Because this should be 1 guaranteed kill. And oh, Bact sees it. Bact sees it and immediately pulls the villagers to wall this up. And this villager can be saved as well. And Bact should save the villager with the transport ship. And what a great game from Bact. What a good idea from Slam, though. At the end of the day, Slam's had 7 fishing ships working freely. He clicks up to the next stage as well, and he is going to be on the offensive with his archers. We'll, of course, see if Bact is going to do the same. Now, you still... A lot of people talk about how you should just delete this TC. It's what a lot of mid-elo players will say. But don't do that. Not at this level. You need all your TCs to produce villagers. You should, in an ideal world, continue to produce all the time until you've got... My rule of thumb is 3 additional TCs on land. Then you can think about deleting this. We have a spearman here from Bact that will kill a villager. Excuse me? What in the world was that? Okay, well, fantastic stuff from Bact to do that, and here comes Bact now with some crossbows. Drops a TC over here, drops a TC over here. He's protected. He said, screw you to this army. I won't even respect you. I won't even deal with it. And there that spearman goes. This spearman is now the scout. And Slam should be paranoid. Slam should say, why is he checking there with the spearman? It's very much like the scout in the previous game. And these villagers go, whoop, I'm out of here. And this is walled, actually. So great save from Slam there. Slam's not in Castle Age yet, obviously. Bact is a big lead with Castle Age. And starting to mix in some farms. No fish traps, interestingly enough. Like, this would be the time to decide on, are you going farm or fish trap? Because the Malay fish traps give you a lot of food. We don't have any farm upgrades for Bact. So Slam is definitely behind right now, but Slam is going double range crossbow, and he's dropping TCs. I think Slam's position is actually going to be pretty good. I think this game will go late. Love this town center on the wood and stone. Love this town center in the back. Let me see. Does he have this gold scouted? Okay, this is an area of concern for him. The gold is going to be a big factor because he's about to run out of this one. I don't know if that's something he's really thought about. Obviously, Bact is just skyrocketed in terms of eco, but Bact doesn't have a lot of military yet. Could always get caught out. And then this isn't... If you don't have control over the middle of the map, this isn't protected either. You could always have a castle or more docks come up later on. Or even if a siege push comes in, it could be a problem. Also, no Bodkin arrow yet for Bact. Slam getting horse color before the new farms is awesome. He's heading out to this gold. Again, we knew this would be a problem. And this is a problem for Bact. Lost 2 crossbows there. I like the decision, though, to add siege. I like how both players are taking some of the boars now. It makes sense to me. God, this map is so good, man. This map is so good. I'm so happy we brought it back. I'm happy to see it here as well. It's so difficult to play, but it can produce some awesome situations. Slam's attempt, obviously, didn't pay off as he would have wanted, but you have to credit Bact for the defense. And what Bact has been able to do with early Castle Age has put him in a good lead, but he's now going to be reacting to Slam a little bit. And there's a lot of potential. Look at Slam now. He's going to go to the other side. For Slam, he's maybe able to expand a little bit more. Maybe get relics. Maybe come forward with a siege shop. I wouldn't mind that. A siege workshop here. And then your crossbows around this way. Just make sure that Bact doesn't expand. You don't want to go too far here if you're Slam. He does know. This is a problem I have too. I've seen it from Slam for years. He feels the need to do too much. And now, I mean, he is kind of in a pickle. His micro is good enough, though, to get himself out of the pickle, so he should be fine. Oh, and Slam killed the fish traps. Slam killed the fish traps with crossbows. That's 500 wood down the drain. Also, Slam sees this. Let's see if Bact knows he's been spotted. Good shot there for Bact. Not enough to get any kills, but he's got enough crossbows coming in of his own now. Slam with the micro. Slam does not have ballistics on the way, but Slam could get out of here because Bact doesn't have ballistics yet. This is wonderful for Slam, though, because Bact is dealing with the other army. And yes, Slam is behind economically right now, but Slam is okay. Really good control over the game. Killing those fish traps was massive. And keep an eye on the amount on food, guys. What Slam's decision was, He said, screw the fish traps. I'm going to get horse collar and make sure my farms have tons of food. And then look at the amount of farms for Bact. There's not near as many. So Bact was able to drop the town centers. But he didn't prioritize control. He didn't have the army quite yet. And while he does have ballistics now, so this could lead to him rebounding a little bit. Really like the position for the Canadian. Thing is, he could fall apart now because ballistics is in. Like, I think he's going to prioritize ballistics for himself right now. He's taking the fight. Okay. Sorry, I think I turned this off for community games yesterday. And yeah, there's a siege workshop for Slam. This is a great game. Bact will push him away here. 112 pop. Slam with 110 pop. God, these are two amazing players. The fact that coming into this series, both of these players have had a rough start and are really desperate for wins just adds so much more to it. It's Slam with the dirty micro. Gets some good shots off. Getting thumb ring now. There is a very good chance that Slam thinks he has ballistics, by the way, people, because he's fighting like he does have ballistics, and the resources have been there for ballistics for a while now, and he's not clicking it. I think there's a chance that he clicked it, thinks he has it right now. Man, this siege workshop is so important for Slam. I don't know where the villager is. Okay, villagers are on the way now. Could see Imp coming shortly. Again, I think Slam believes he has ballistics, but he does have thumb ring now, and he would be able to easily take out this siege. Bact is distracted. Bact should fire. He does, but it's an easy split from Slam. Now Bact is thinking about a lead skirm. So he's had to drop towers here. He's now protecting his fish traps. He learned his lesson there, I think, to maybe use the back dock for that. When the skirms start flooding, Slam's crossbows will be in jeopardy, but skirms cost food. And then Slam also will have siege here. Alex, it was called Wandering Warriors Cup, but I love the fact that you called it Wandering Wizards. I love that. I'm really disappointed that we didn't call the event that. Oh my goodness. And no, I don't think Viper and Hera ever played. Hera lost, I think, in the quarters to Yo. Viper had a credible game against maybe Tato or Dowd, I forget. There were some really good games on this map. Slam wants a forward castle and he wants Imperial Age right now, but he's now seeing this and he's a little hesitant. And these are the crucial moments for someone like Slam. And Bact thought he was going to micro, and he didn't micro. Or he started to split, and he went right back to his position. Now Slam's selling wood. He accidentally shot the boar there. The siege is going to be helpful for him. And some amazing shots, and those skirmishers weren't able to help at all. It's all Slam right now. Slam will click up to the Imperial Age, but 140 pop versus 128. And still Slam doesn't have ballistics. So that means if Bact is moving side to side, Slam is missing shots that he would normally hit. Well, Slam unable to take the siege. Slam, there's skirms in there now. He just should back away. I think he's just buying time for his castle to go up. And then Bact says, hey, great idea, buddy. And he goes up to Imp faster with melee. This is still anyone's game. It's super even. Slam has the better of the KD, but he does not have the better of anything else, really, because it's so close. He's behind in Vils. Slam thought he was going to take control here, but he has now invited a ton of pressure. Sometimes there's a world in this position where you want to switch into Eagles. I don't think the eco is quite there yet for Slam, but just things you start to think about. But this is going to be a Trebor first and foremost. I think both players should be researching Masonry right now. Bact will probably rush Chemistry, and that's something that Slam will probably research, but with Chemistry, Slam, as he sees these skirms running over, he cannot make bomber cannons. Melee can do that. Bact needs some upgrades still. Skirms really thrive on having the armor, so he has to be a little careful. Slam wants to drop a castle here, so I guess he's just trying to deny golds right now. He could lose this castle. He takes his fight. What's going to happen here is Slam is going to go to his university when he hits the next age. And he's going to click Chemistry, and then he's going to realize he doesn't have ballistics. This is a good fight for Slam, actually. Upgrades weren't in yet for Bact. Bracer, Arbalest. He'll probably try and get chemistry. Okay, see? And he clicks ballistics. Yep. So, at some point, he thought he clicked it earlier on in the game. And here's the first treb for Bact. Obviously, Slam making one. Slam does not have a lot of villagers on stone, though. I think he's about to correct that fact, but he does not have a lot of vills on stone. And Bact doesn't actually have any on stone. So stone is a bit of a worry for both. This stone needs to be taken by Bact. I think he's going to pull these villagers over to this one. But yeah, you just need trebs on either side right now. And another thing that's a problem for Bact at the moment, as Slam has excellent micros, he still doesn't have that armor on the skirms. And Slam realizing that, he figures there's a small window where he can actually attack these skirms before he has to make a tech switch. And he's actually deciding to make his own skirms, which I don't mind. If you don't have the eco to switch in Eagles, I don't mind that. What I do hate, though, is dropping this castle and never making trebs out of it. Over here, he's very much focused on the treb war, though, so hard to get the resources for everything. Slam will have chemistry in a moment. Bact. He clicked chemistry, right? He did. So Bact could make bombard cannons on one of the sides. And Slam wants to kill this army, and he's going to make some gates here. Palisade gates should go down to this army, though, so I guess he's just delaying it as long as possible. Meanwhile, repairing. Slam. Oh, no way. Slam's going to take this castle out. He will likely lose this one, but this has kept Bact off of these resources for a bit. 170 population for both. Where's everyone who said Houseboat's a crappy map? Oh, my God. Fantastic. I know there's even been some players who are like, yeah, it's hard to play T90, but for everyone who has been negative, there's about 10 people who's been positive about it. To be honest, it's been my experience in general as a content creator, though. I'm lucky. I'm lucky to have you guys. Stone upgrade now for Bact. Again, very little on stone for both, which is crazy. But look at the food and gold. Bact has so much food and gold coming in. Problem is, he's not really able to spend it with melee. Doesn't have Arbalest yet. I think he should put all of his gold into bombard cannons. Meanwhile, we have what will be a crazy eagle tech switch behind this. Slam is just getting El Dorado now because it's smart thinking. Because he might lose this castle, and he doesn't have any other castles. So he's just holding this position to get El Dorado, which gives these elite eagles 100 HP, but he doesn't even have an eagle yet. There's his barracks. Man, this hill has proved to be so crucial. You could argue that maybe, you know, this was a little bit of a waste, but I definitely like how Slam is taking control over the game. This is definitely where you should be foreseeing that switch into Eagles if you are melee, and I think you should start to get barracks upgrades. And oh, the bomber cannon, that's so expensive. Goes down. I noticed Karambit warriors right now for Bact, but I don't know if he has the castle numbers to be able to go Karambits. Karambits would obviously be fantastic. You need some form of infantry to deal with the Eagles that are anti-archer. I can't help but feel like Bact's outposts are helping him here, though, because he's going to see some of this action on this side. Slam has to run away with these vills for now. What a crucial hill this has been, but Slam could start to lose it. He has to be careful. Bact really trying to use his bombard cannons here. Slam will see this. Bact has to dodge. The trebs will hit sometimes. And yeah, that's such a frustrating thing. Trebs are not 100% accurate. Bact tried to dodge as if it was 100% accurate and ran into the shot. But the hill helps a lot here. And oh, God, another one. Oh, jeez. Bact's pop is amazing right now. He just can't get rid of this freaking castle, man. And he's not going to. He's not going to. And this has given Slam all the time he needs. I think Bact could be in real trouble here. Like, his whole army here gets countered by elite eagles. Dang. 194 pop. Bact has clearly misclicked a couple cav archers. I don't think the barracks on the left side is the position we're in. Like, that would make sense had he pushed the castle and then Slam is backing away. But look at these eagles. Look how little damage they take against this army. It's insane. And Slam knows how good it's going to be as he just runs in with the trebs and says, yep, I'll just take out your TC while I'm at it if you don't mind. And yeah, GG called there. What a great game from Slam as he rebounds. And you know, the early, sorry, have the tab out and do something real quick. The early pressure from Slam might not have been 100% convincing, simply due to not having the repair villager, but also because Malay are pretty good on the defense in those situations. But man, I was really, really impressed with Slam there, and that was a big one for him. He really needed a point here, and they both still are going to be hungry for more, but certainly Slam is going to be happy with that because I know how frustrating it must have felt after not getting any wins against Leary. Okay, just taking care of a couple things here. If you've been following my channel over the last couple weeks, you know that I've been recording like literally everything. So the 1 terabyte hard drive just has to be, I have to delete stuff from it all the time. But yeah, what a great game. What a great game from Slam. I think the difference for me was simply just the mid-game army control. Because Bact, like, he had that eco lead, but I think maybe he needed a second or third archer range a little earlier. He maybe needed to have a lead skirm a little earlier. It is tricky, right? Because if you add the ranges in an earlier time, you might not have as much economy or as many farms. So that's a really tough balance. But ultimately, the double range opening there from Slam, he was able to make work. And I recall Mayans doing really, really well on this map in WWC. And yeah, there's the KD. Total resources collected, Bact was ahead, but he didn't have the gold, didn't have the stone, and he would have lost all of his army to the Eagles. He just didn't get the tech switch into the two-handed swordsman in time. A little disappointing, too, because he has the food. He has the castle, so he could have gone for force levy, could have added the barracks with the wood, but just didn't think about it. I think he was expecting to take this castle out and then drop the barracks, but Slam's hill and Slam's trebuchets were just doing work there. All right, so game number 3, and man, is this big. So, Bact, you know, again to review, he's 2 total wins so far, right? If you combine the first and second round, and for Slam, he's got 1. So, imagine where if Slam wins this one, it's tied 2-2 with someone like Bact, who's very good within his group, and then they all move on to the future rounds. Or imagine a world where Bact wins this, and then suddenly he's looking at 3 and Slam's looking at 1 as they move on to the future rounds. I mean, that could be the difference at the conclusion of the group where everyone's going to be fighting to stay alive. The bottom 2 in the group are relegated down to the Gold League for the next season. So we've got Bact on his home map here, Atacama. And then when he's playing as the Lithuanians, Slam has gone for the Hindustanis. And with this particular set, I didn't get to pull up the draft. But I'm surprised to see this civilization here. I don't think this civilization is necessarily bad here. I think Hindustanis are pretty good in any situation. And if it was Arabia, I'd say Hindustanis versus Lithuanians. I might even prefer them. But there's no flexibility bonuses, I guess, for the early game that really leads into being good on the water, which is what you typically see. And again, this map is not full water. It's not like Cross, so you might not need it. We'll see what happens. For Bact, though, he picked Lithuanians, plus 150 food at the start, which is insane. So he already has had 4 on wood for a while. He's already getting the dock going. That is the Lithuanian build order. And so what this will lead to is him having a slight lead. That said, you do have cheaper vills with the Hindustanis. And so what that would mean is you could actually go to wood 1 vill earlier. Because you wouldn't need, I think, I'd have to go back and check. Slam, don't kill that turkey. Thank you. I think he actually did do that. So it's just not quite as severe. But I think you can just get to wood a little bit earlier than maybe another Civ can. And then if it gets messy in Feudal and Castle, I mean, the villagers get cheaper as the game goes on. You have camels, which attack faster. And then you have the Gulam, too. I mean, if you think Lithuanians, you're normally thinking about knights in Castle Age. So having the camels would be pretty good here for Slam. We'll see. Ooh. What is this from Bact? Interesting move. Now he's got a weak scout there. I think Slam will actually be pretty happy that Bact did that. Bact maybe regretting his choices. He's just trying to find the Canadian right now. And Slam is going to bring in boar number 2. The focus on Atacama is then towards the wood in the middle. These guys are pretty far away from each other. I expanded the wood region in the middle for this version of Atacama. There's too many games where, and this will still happen sometimes, but there's too many games where there's just like one spot for someone to take wood and then they're done otherwise. We just spread it out a bit more and made the wood lines a little bigger. So I like the fact that the wood will still be focused, but it's not to the same degree as maybe other generations from other events have had. I'll make tweaks after seeing certain things develop, whether it's meta or you know, just sometimes as a caster, I say, okay, well, this could make the game develop into a bit more strategy focus, or just have the games go on a little bit longer sometimes, right? We didn't reinvent the wheel. Let's put it that way. Now, when I saw ACCM versus Bad Boy, they completely proved me wrong, because I was saying that it's definitely worth it to dock with fishing ships at the start, but it's not worth it to go out and dock the other ponds later. And they both were all over it. So I don't know if these guys will. And I don't know how much Bact talks to those two, because they're both Vietnamese players. But just something to think about. Okay, there goes Bact on the way up. This looks to me like it's going to be a second lumber camp. There it is. And then Slam, I think, will stay one lumber camp. And Slam's about to drop off food and click up. And the scouting is really important here. Slam will drop off his food. Drop off your food. He clicks up. 2 fishing ships for Slam. It is 4 for Bact. Slam having 1 more Vil, though. The time is faster for Bact. And actually, that's a good heads-up play from Slam. This scout is weaker from Bact, so he might think I can chase that and win. But he should expect the Lithuanians to be a little faster to the next age. So he doesn't want to be anywhere close to that. Here comes Bact, maybe looking for that scout. Barracks for Bact. I'm expecting this to be a scout opening from Bact. Hasn't sent any Vils to gold. Probably the same for Slam. Oh! Is he... Why? Okay, so he's going to open archers. Sorry, guys. This is not what I was expecting here. Slam is going to open archers. And the other thing I looked for was maybe sneaking a villager on the pond. But that's really awkward to do here. And Slam is going to bring in his villager here to try and win this scout war. This is huge. Slam's scout is still weaker and slower, right? I'm going to attack you. No, I'm not. Going to attack you. No, I'm not. And Bact at 17 HP. This at 18 HP for Slam. Which means they're both 4 hits, actually, from going down. So that 1 HP doesn't make a difference now that the scouts do 5 damage. But, okay, yeah, we've got a range. And Bact is all over it. Bact sees this. I don't think Bact will be too disappointed, because the range opening, it's very slow. It can snowball on you, and it does force your opponent into some weird situations, but it's very slow. And, oh, man, this tower from Bact is so good. It's more than far enough away, so it won't be seen. And he also... Oh, Slam loses his scouts. So now Slam definitely won't see it. But you know what's beautiful about this tower? It's that I think it ranges every Vil, but it's also so annoying to counter tower. Look, I think Slam is like, I have no control right now. He doesn't even know for certain that it's scouts. I don't think he saw the second scout. But man, that tower spot is just insane. And okay, so this is the correct move from Slam. This is what we've seen a lot of. Is if one villager makes a tower like that, you immediately make your own tower and then just shoot it down, because you'll have more arrows. But it still affects you, because you still can't have your villagers comfortably working on wood that whole time. So I think Bact will be fairly happy with that. We'll check the wood income in a few moments. Okay, it looks like a villager's down here and is already fishing for Bact, adding 4 fishing ships. That seems to be the magic number when there's only 4 deep fish. That's what a lot of players are doing. Also, going to run to the north. Also has a range at home with skirms already, because he's expecting Slam. This is amazing from Bact. I don't know. Okay, Slam with some incredible quick walls. I don't know what Slam's going to do, though. I mean, he'll be back on wood soon. That's good. Quick walls from Slam. Oh, and no, the scouts get value. This should be a dead villager. It'll be the first kill of the game, guys. Meanwhile, Slam's like, hey, time to counterattack. I've gone archers. Took me a while, but here I am. And now the skirmishers, the speedy Lithuanian skirmishers are here. Which if Bact were to micro a little bit more, he would probably kill all these archers. And here comes the villagers back. Let's check the wood collected real quick. So just look at the resources collected in general. It's insane. Massive difference in resources collected for a game that's only been 14 minutes. And it's all Bact right now. Slam has his archers. Does realize that Bact doesn't have fletching yet. So he's going to have to micro his way against these skirms, which he's doing really nice job of. I love how he doesn't respect the army as much because there's no fletching yet. He's like, yeah, I'm not going to take as much damage. It's fine. But it's not ideal. I would say that you're kind of forced into taking the engagement, though. Because what else do you have? Also, Bact on top of it. I don't know if he saw that. But Slam has been over here. Remember, that was his starting pond. Bact is actually going to get Town Watch, which should maybe lead to him seeing that. He falls away. He needs the blacksmith. But he's on all 4 ponds. And now here comes Slam. Did Slam see this? Slam didn't see the dock. Does Bact see this one? Nope, Town Watch doesn't actually help him see that. That's interesting. Bact with some house walls and palisade gates to make it awkward to pass through. Little outpost here. Overall KD is 7-6 right now. Slam's resource is actually looking pretty good to go up to the next stage. I'm surprised. Obviously, the fishing ships are going to run out of fish here in a second. And actually, they're going to go down in a second because Bact is adding the fire galley. Slam being very patient right now. Scared to move out as he probably should do because... Or should be, I guess. I would be if I were in his position because you just saw their skirms out. And if they're upgraded this time, you'll probably lose all your archers. Bact did see this dock. So he's adding a fire galley, which means Slam can't fish there. And yeah, I mean, the only thing I'd say is that you definitely need to transition into farms on this map. You cannot treat it like 4 legs. And Slam's not doing that. Slam is hoping to use the market. I think he's feeling the pressure right now. And he's really trying to use that market to get up to Castle Age fast. And I think he'll just give up on these fishing ships. So that means half of his food eco is just going to be dead. And then down here, we'll see if he can test it. Looks like he is for now. Okay, so right now, I think Bact's position is as good as it gets. You've got ranged army. You've got walls and spots where you might need it. His vision is honestly insane. I love this. He's got every pond locked down, or at least in sight. He's got outposts everywhere. I'm trying to look for areas of weakness right now for him. There's not many areas where he doesn't have vision or where he doesn't have walls. This is impressive. This would be the only area he doesn't have vision. He can see everything, guys. So there's no way Slam can ever get that crossbow army to his base and be real sneaky about it. The downside for Bact would be that he doesn't have the stone to be able to make a tower now. So if he needs to make a defensive tower, then he could have some problems. But yeah, Bact probably won't even add fishing ships here. But it is interesting that Bact has taken all the ponds like this. Slam's not giving up on this one, though. And neither has Bact. Also, Slam over here. And Bact sees that. And so Bact sees everything. He's actually bringing the archer here so he can kill this villager. Of course, you're missing out with the execution. There you go. Slam's like, okay, I need to run away. 73 pop for Bact, 48 for Slam. And yeah, this villager I do not expect to get away, so that's going to be another eco loss for Slam, which would make it 9. Again, he is at the limit with what he can do, and he needs his crossbows to do something. Bact, making another fire galley. Slam trying to micro, no villager here to repair. Bact backing away, okay. Overall, I think he's happy with his position regardless of what happens here, but he's doing his best. He's actually using his fishing ships as a tank and a distraction. This scout underneath the tower is actually not a big deal for Slam as he loses that. All right. So it's kill or be killed now for Slam, who is still over here. Here come those crossbows. Let's look at Bact's position. Okay, that tree actually had 13 wood. He almost overchopped it. Okay, he's had an army waiting at home. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, wow, he brought the skirmishers forward. Will he regret bringing the skirmishers forward? Slam has a big army here. Oh, I'm surprised by that. Archers forward, yes. Skirmishers I expected to stay at home. Slam's going to go siege. Bact is going to go siege. Let's see if Slam can break through the palisade walls and make something happen here. He seems to be distracted at home. And, oh, jeez. You know, Bact is just, he's able to see everything. He's now able to take everything because he can take his gold. Slam can't. Even houses here for Bact will give him vision on this gold. Slam needs to hit palisades and he needs to run in right now. Like, he needs to get some action done or some damage done before ranged army arrives. Bact has him so completely surrounded. He knows he's probably coming over to this gold. Now he's like, huh, okay, maybe his villagers went back to his gold. Slam super scared, super hesitant, super far behind. 53 eco and 33 army for Bact. And now there's siege here, which Slam can't easily contest. Oh my god, big shot though. My apologies. And oh my god, another shot. Slam still got a lifeline here. Okay. I think Slam was probably taking losses over here at the same time. That's typically how it goes. So, yep. Obviously, that was good for Bact. And Slam just taps out. I don't know, man. Like, Bact, very similar to game number 1, just looked like he had a solid plan and his execution was better the whole way through. In this game, he had similar amount of crossbows, but his economy was just unbelievable. The early tower and the wood line was great. The early action with the scout was great. Slam was immediately blind because of that. Losing that scout hurt him so much. I don't like archer opening here. I don't like archer opening. And if you're not going to focus on taking the extra pawns, I love scouts even more because then you focus on the horse collar farms and that food income is going to last you for a long time. Bact, he didn't really care about horse collar because he was going for the fish approach. But to not go for the fish approach and then not, get horse collar, go for a scout build was a bit weird to me there. Bact just made that one look easy. And so Bact, he wins round number 2, 2-1. Slam is going to be near the bottom of his group going into the future rounds. And let me see off the top of my head, there will be 3 more sets for both players, but for Slam, who now has 1 win out of the first 2 rounds, these are the players he has to get good results against. Winchester, Song, Capoch. And I think Capoch and Song are the keys. I think it's possible in Group C that Winchester 3-0s everyone except for Leary, and that Leary 3-0s everyone except for Winchester. So if Slam is able to get really good results against Song and really good results against Capoch, again, those are the players. Like, I think Slam, Bact, Song, and Capoch, those are the 4 players that are kind of fighting amongst themselves right now. And it's going to be freaking close at the end. Again, Capoch beat Bact 2-1. Now Bact has beat Slam 2-1, which could lead to Slam beating Capoch 2-1, and then Capoch beating Song 2-1. Like, things to keep an eye on. So Slam obviously still alive with 3 more rounds. Bact in the better position. Moving on. Also, we have to say Bact still has yet to play Winchester and still has yet to play Leary. So it still could be very even in Group C. Happy to see the performance from Bact here, though. Bact looked really good. Game number 2 was incredible from Slam. But game 1 still has me so excited from this series. That was such a great game from Bact. Losing his elephant there and then recovering and being that far ahead of Aztecs is not easy to do.